Hi, my name is Eliza Mendoza. I'm a realtor here in Southern Idaho, and I help people buy, sell, and build homes all throughout the Magic Valley. And today, we're breaking down a question that I get all the time from buyers, especially those relocating from out of state. Should you live in Twin Falls or Jerome, Idaho? Because on paper, these two areas are very close together. But when it comes to lifestyle, cost, and overall feel, they're actually very different. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the key differences so you can decide which one might be the better fit for you. Let's start with location, because this is the foundation of everything. Twin Falls sits on the south side of the Snake River Canyon. Jerome is located just across the canyon on the north side, and the two are connected by the Perrine Bridge. So technically, you can live in Jerome and be in Twin Falls about 10 to 15 minutes. This is important because a lot of people who live in Jerome still rely on Twin Falls for shopping, dining, and healthcare. Now, let's talk about overall vibe and lifestyle, because this is where the biggest difference shows up. Twin Falls is the larger of the two. It has more development, more businesses, more restaurants, and more services. It feels like a small city that is continuing to grow. Jerome, on the other hand, feels much more rural and quiet. It has smaller population, less traffic, and a slower pace of life. Some people love that, others feel like it's too quiet. So right away, this comes down to personality. Do you want more convenience and activity, or do you simply want more space? Now let's talk about cost, because this is a major factor for most buyers. In general, Jerome tends to be more affordable than Twin Falls. You may find lower home prices, you may find larger lots for the same price, and overall, your money stretches a little bit further. Twin Falls, because of its growth and demand, tends to have higher home values. Now, that price doesn't mean it's expensive compared to larger states, but when comparing the two directly, Jerome is typically the more budget-friendly option. Now, let's talk about real estate styles and what you can expect. In Twin Falls, you'll find a mix of new construction, established neighborhoods, planned developments, and more modern designs. In Jerome, you're more likely to find larger properties, acreage, older homes mixed with newer builds, and a more rural setting. So if you're someone who wants space, animals, or a little bit more distance from neighbors, Jerome may appeal to you. If you prefer newer neighborhoods, sidewalks, and a more structured community feel, Twin Falls might be the better fit. Now, let's talk about amenities, because this is where Twin Falls has a clear advantage. Twin Falls has more shopping, more restaurants, more healthcare options, more day-to-day conveniences. If you want everything close by and easily accessible, Twin Falls is going to offer that. Jerome has the basics, but for anything beyond that, most people drive into Twin Falls. Again, it's not far, but it's something to consider for your daily routine. Now let's talk about commute and accessibility. If you live in Jerome and work or spend time in Twin Falls, you will be driving across the Perrine Bridge regularly. For most people, this is not a big deal. It's a short drive, but during certain weather conditions, especially wind, it can feel more noticeable. So it's something to be aware of. If you live in Twin Falls, everything tends to be centralized. Your daily driving is typically shorter and more contained within the city. Now, let's talk about growth and future development. Twin Falls is growing rapidly. New subdivisions, new businesses, more people moving into the area. That growth can bring more opportunities, more amenities, and potentially more appreciation over time. Jerome is also growing, but at a little bit of a slower pace. It's starting to expand as people look for more affordable alternatives close to Twin Falls. So Jerome may feel more like getting an early opportunity for some buyers. Now, I want to talk about something that doesn't always show up on paper, and that's the lifestyle fit. The people who tend to choose Twin Falls are often looking for convenience. They want to be close to everything. They want little more activity and access. The people who choose Jerome are often looking for space, quiet, and a more rural lifestyle. Neither one is better, they're just different. Now let's talk about retirees specifically, because this is a big audience I work with. For retirees, Twin Falls often makes sense because of proximity to healthcare, shopping, and services. Everything is easier to access, but Jerome can be very appealing if you want a quieter environment and potentially more land. It really comes down to how much convenience you want in your day-to-day life. Now, I want to give you my honest perspective based on working with clients. If you are relocating from out of state and you are unsure, most people start by looking in Twin Falls because it gives them a central location and access to everything. Then, as they get more comfortable with the area, some start to explore Jerome for value and space. So I want to pause here and give a quick disclaimer. Everything in this video is based on general information, personal experiences, and current market trends. Every situation is different, prices can change, conditions can change, and it's important to do your own due diligence when deciding where to live. So let's bring this all together. Twin Falls offers more convenience, more amenities, and a growing city feel. Jerome offers more space, lower cost, and a quieter lifestyle. There is no right or wrong answer, only what fits you best. If you're thinking about moving to the area and trying to decide between Twin Falls and Jerome, I'd love to help you. There's a link in my bio where you can fill out a quick form so we can connect one-on-one. Once you fill out that form, we can talk directly about your situation, what you're looking for, and help you make the best decision for you. I really look forward to getting to know you and helping you throughout this process. And if you want more real, honest videos about living in Southern Idaho, make sure you subscribe. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.